jeez. Oh god. Are they still? God. Are they still?
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna help you take a long nap. Don't worry. Just rest your mind. There we go. Take a nice deep breath.
You're going to hell, you know that?
Don't worry. I'll see you there as well. Welcome back, everybody. So, as you can see, we are back out in the lovely forests of the Carolinas. And today I'm going to be showing you a build that I've very much put a lot of passion into, and I'm extremely excited to get reviewed. And that is going to be my personal Nexus build. This beauty has served me well through many a HVZ and PvP. And I finally have her optimized enough to where I think I'm ready to make a video. So I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get into it. So, getting into the blaster overview. Let's take off this sling real quick. We're going to go over this just like how I always do, which is going to be tip to butt. Starting up at the front of the blaster, we have a worker orange metal muzzle brake right there. Usually it comes with a suppressor, but I am not a big fan of the look of that with this particular build. And if you look inside right there, you can see a cut down worker scar barrel. Just a cheap one that you can get from out of darts as well. Helps with stabilizing the dart in flight. And when it comes to up here, the rails of the blaster, we have the rail riser from out of darts, printed in a nice, cute turquoise color to fit with the camo Nexus. Side rails are printed in the same as well. I got the left and right because it just gives me that nice Mark 18 feel, which I really love. On top of the rails, as you can see, we have a nice pair of MonkeyMods iron sights. Usually these come with the Firefly, but I feel they made a nice addition to this build. And, along with the normal sights, we also have a 45-degree canted sight. I got these off Amazon.com. Everything will be in the description. Up top right here, I have an Olight Flashlight with a 1-inch red little cover right there because a lot of HVZs don't allow you to have a bright-ass white light. But on this rail right here, we have the lovely Mighty Mama, again printed by Out of Darts. Currently rocking the Mega Attachment, the singular Mega Attachment, which is usually what I run on these builds for HVC. Back here, along the top of the Picatinny rail, we have a nice magnifier, which makes it really nice to look at targets real far away. Because, you know, you just need to be able to... Identification reasons. Words am hard. Back here we have a ladder sight because at 130 FPS makes a nice little addition to be able to range your shots in properly. Making it back here to the stock, we have just a knockoff mag pull from Worker. currently running a 2-point sling with quick attach little sling loops. Really nice feeling in my opinion. But if we take off that stock, we see a 3D printed solid adjustable spacer, which is really nice for when you go all over the country like I do. Currently in there I have an out of darts 100 FPS spring, because that is the best way I found to tune this from all the way from 100 to 140 FPS. Going back here to the lower trigger and magwell region, we have a lovely Transmog Labs, I believe is how they pronounce their name. It is just a hair trigger. It is ambidextrous. It is not left or right-handed. I found that to be the most comfortable. I cannot believe the schmuck has forgotten to add 3 things into the description. The Transmog Labs Saftey Delete. They forgot about this singular little sling attachment point right here. They forgot to mention that. And most importantly, they forgot the charm attachment, the boba charm attachment. How very dare she, madam?
This annoying interruption was brought to you by the editor.
Now back to your regularly scheduled video. Whee! Up here we have a Transmog Labs little team indicator flag. I have MU BC, so UMBC. This is when I was getting ready to go to UMBC for the first time, and I thought it was a nice little thing to add. Down here in the blaster, on the blaster I mean, we have a Stubby little mag release for, you know, releasing this, because what I like to have on my kit is one of these with a straight talon adapter, because if we take a look right here, when you release the paddle mag release, I currently have the angled adapter in there. So if I run out of these mags for whatever reason, I usually will have this on my kit somewhere, so I can take this out, put this one in, and then I can now take straight talons just like everyone else in the group. So I find that really helpful. There's also one by, I think, Zergo Blasters that takes Nightingale magazines. I will be getting that one soon so I could add to my portfolio. So if we take that back out and put in the objectively better magazine adapter, how very dare you, madam. Just put that in right there. Put that in. Go. So, right here we also have a absolutely lovely, once again by Out of Darts, flared magazine. Flared magazine, well, I can't speak English today. Give me a moment. Which makes reloads a lot smoother. But when it comes to the internals of the blaster, if I take that out and I show you, not sure if you can see awfully well, but inside of there we have a nice and lovely metal, well, actually 3D printed right there, but we have the metal internals kit by Once Again Worker, which really helps to boost the performance and overall seal of the Nexus. But since the normal barrel with that gets around 200 FPS, I got a slightly shorter barrel. No, don't ask me the diameter. I will put that in the description. I can't be bothered to remember right now. But as I showed you right there, we have a 3D printed skinny pusher. Now y'all might be like, oh, that's nothing special. Almost everyone gets one of those. What makes this one a little different, if you take a look, it might not seem like it because of this little adapter, which I will get over in a second, but you can see that it's stopping a lot more forward than usual. That's because this is a short dart only. which means if I take a look right here for you, you can see that right there. It is only short dart, which means no full dart will work with this anymore, and it also removes the slack in the whole build, which overall boosts performance, firing speed, and overall just feel and ergonomics of the blaster, because you don't have that awkward slop anymore. Now back up here, as I pointed out, we have a lovely little adapter for the Pyrangle Foregrip originally by Captain Slug, printed by SilverfoxIndustries. The adapter is printed also by Transmog Labs, because normally you can't add this foregrip directly onto the Picatinny of either the plastic or the metal version of this blaster's little Picatinny rail. So I got this so I could add a lovely looking foregrip. There's also the catch and everything else in here. Overall, just some nice fine tuning. Eventually I hope to get some epoxy and put a lot more epoxy in this shell, so that way it's a bit more heavier and feels a lot more nice and sturdy. But overall, that is all for the blaster. Also, when it comes to the Mighty Mama, there are several different attachments. For example, we have this one, the Mega Barrel, which is the most used by me. And then we also have the Mega XL. Then we also have the 3-dot Elite Dot or 6-dot Short Dart Shotgun. And then we also have the 5-dot Elite Dot or 10-dot Short Dart Shotgun for overall just wackiness if you feel like it. So, that is about all for this blaster, overview at least. I'm going to give you a quick little look on the inside, show you some of the upgrades throughout the years and some pictures, and then we will quickly wrap up this video so I do not waste any more of your time. So, let's get into it. Alrighty. So, some of the things that I have changed with this blaster over the years. Honestly, it's gonna be a little bit, so make sure to sit down, have a glass of water, and we're going to talk for a little bit. So, overall, this was my very first Nexus right here. As you can see, it was the plain Nexus that came out in 2020, just like everyone else had. And I ran with that for a while. And it was lovely. I loved it. It was honestly one of my first blasters getting back into the hobby. Overall, over the years, a couple of pictures to show you some of the modifications I had made, a lot of the overall upgrades and development of the blaster. Right here you can see that there's the color change. That is when I got my very first camo Nexus. Since I love purple and black and turquoise, I felt it was just the overall better color scheme and it looked the best aesthetically. So, as you can see, things started changing. The color started changing, I changed the color of the rails, because pretty much any HVZ told me that the black rails wouldn't have done so, which is perfectly fair. So, now you're starting to see what's modernizing, it's becoming what it looks like right now, and there we go. The end product. Some of the products that I still recommend, but currently do not have on this blaster. If I grab my little box or container right here, open that up. I used to run a 1-point sling on this blaster, but I had found that I was a bit too sloppy for me, and overall trying to carry the blaster was a lot harder with a 1-point than it was a 2-point. It's overall style, so you might fancy a 1-point, but I've learned that I fancy a 2-point. In here we also have the out of darts sling attachment loop for the Nexus. It's a good piece, I like it, but I found that since with a single point it worked well, but when it came to a 2-point, they made it way too close together and overall just did not fancy well. Then we also have the Transmog Labs little cut off magazine release. I changed out for the Stubby because I found that trying to change adapters quickly with this stubby little thing was nearly damn near impossible. You could do it if you had nails, but I don't like having long nails, so that had to go. And long before, and I mean long before, I even got my hands on that adjuster, that little adjustable spacer, I had these. The 100 FPS little cap by Out of Darts with a customly cut down little spacer. This is usually double this size, but I was able to file it down and cut it up a little bit to where it got me roughly around 120 FPS, because I'm not sure if it was with my Nexus or just the Nexus in general, but overall it just seemed to not like the 100 FPS spring or little cap, so it pretty much had to be over 110 for the blaster to function properly, even with a good seal. Some people say otherwise, but Nexus tend to be a little bit different between each variant, so it might just be theirs, it might just be mine, who knows. So, that is overall the blaster overview and little story and everything like that. I'm not going to be doing a open up of this video to show you how to mod it. I will be doing one of those soon with a partnership with Transmog Labs, so keep an eye out for that video when it comes up. I finally might have a sponsor on the channel. Me? A sponsor? No. You're just gonna have to wait for the video for that one. So, I hope you all have yourselves a lovely day, Wastelanders, and I shall see you later. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that. And everything is down in the description. But I already told you that, so you should have known that. But in case you didn't, everything on this product, and even the blaster itself, is in the description. Now I shall see you later. Bye!